Good afternoon, I'm Raine Musñgi and this is Newsfeed. Real estate companies of the C and Ayala families post solid gains, lifting Philippine share prices higher in their return from a long break. The PSEi index went up by 11 points, or about 0.2%, to close at just below the 7,000 level. The property sector surged by 2.7% as index heavyweights SM Prime and Ayala Land rallied by at least 2% each. This is the first chance of the local market to react to Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell's remarks that signaled the start of the central bank's policy easing cycle. Value turnover increased to 6.8 billion pesos as advancers beat decliners 110 to 94. Finance Secretary Ralph Recto wants the National Grid Corporation of the Philippines to be the first investment of the Maharlika Investment Corporation, but at a lower price. Inquirer reports the government would have to shell out about 12 billion pesos to secure a board seat in the NGCP. The finance chief says it is important for the MIC to invest in NGCP amid ongoing concerns about a Chinese-owned entity's involvement in critical Philippine infrastructure. State Grid Corporation of China is a key shareholder in MGCP. Canned food manufacturer Mega Foods Prime is gearing up for an initial public offering. The firm's chairman, William Tiu Lim, says an IPO will improve transparency in business transactions and see Mega Foods transition from a family-run corporation to a listed company. Tiu Lim adds the company's board has already tapped 4 independent directors.
You want to be IPO, that's a requirement to be transparent. For us, being a family corporation, okay, let's be open so that at least if we want to be IPO, we are ready by maybe 3 to 5 years from now. But let's work on it.
Energy firm ACEN beefs up its presence in Indonesia. The Ayala unit signed an exclusive partnership with Indonesian firm Barito Renewables to explore and develop wind energy projects in Indonesia. This partnership builds on their acquisition early this year of 3 wind assets in Jakarta that have a potential combined capacity of 320 megawatts. Vice President Sara Duterte faced another budget deliberation, this time at the House of Representatives, where she was confronted on her office's previous confidential funds. Hannah T. is at the House for details. Hannah, go ahead.
Vice President Sara Duterte clashed with Alliance of Concerned Teachers party list representative Franz Castro during the House Committee on Appropriations hearing for the Office of the Vice President's 2025 budget. When Castro pressed her on the issue of confidential funds, Duterte refused to provide a direct answer. Tensions escalated further when Duterte questioned Castro's presence in Congress, mentioning Castro's conviction in a child abuse case. This remark intensified the already heated atmosphere. Earlier, Duterte had stated she would not defend her office's budget, leaving the decision entirely to the House. Committee Senior Vice Chair Representative Stella Kimbo reminded the Vice President of the importance of the Q&A process in budget hearings and emphasized its role in legislative scrutiny. Duterte also requested that the committee chairperson, Ako Bicol Representative Elizalde Co, to lead the budget inquiry instead of Kimbo. Kimbo firmly responded, stating the VP as a resource person could not make such a request. Here's a portion of what happened earlier.
Madam Chair, since you allowed her a snide comment, you will allow me a snide comment as well.
So my question is,
Madam,
can you
yes.
confirm?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Diba?
Okay.
Yes, Madam Chair.
So,
Before you proceed, may I remind both our guests and our resource
You should have reminded her
to
when she said the
refrain
line, diba? I called your attention, Madam Chair. You did not recognize me. So, ngayon, sasabihin ko na, if you allowed her that, you allowed me a snide comment as well.
I don't recall hearing a snide comment, Madam Vice President. Ang snide comment, that's a matter of judgment. So please proceed
Secretariat,
with your...
Madam Chair, I would like the Secretariat to repeat the first 3 lines of the
Well,
comments.
point of order, Madam Chair. Point of order, Madam Chair, kasi parang...
So let's please proceed with the answer.
Point of order,
Madam Chair.
Madam Chair, kasi parang siya yung nagpe-preside eh.
Yes, that's why I'm ma'am.
Kasi inuutusan
Madam
mo
Vice
yung
President.
secretariat natin sa Committee on
Ganyan
Appropriation.
Yes.
Alam mo,
Some
ano,
order,
diba? So,
please. Yes.
okay, thank you,
Madam
Madam
Vice
Chair.
President, please proceed with the response. There's
Raine, the hearing continues as Gabriela Party List Representative Arlene Brosa successfully moved to strike Duterte's remarks about Castro's trumped-up gaze from the record. The Department of Budget and Management has recommended a budget of 2.037 billion pesos for the OVP for FY 2025. Back to you.
Thank you so much for that report, Hannah T. A local court has ordered police to leave the Kingdom of Jesus Christ compound in Davao City. It also ordered police to remove all barricades and blockades in the premises. The religious group earlier sought a writ of amparo, or a temporary protection order, which the court granted to stop the police's search of its leader, Apollo Quiboloy. The petitioner claims their right to life, liberty, and security have been threatened by the manhunt. For days, police have been looking for Quiboloy, who's wanted for child abuse and human trafficking. DILG Chief Benhur Abalos says they will abide by the order, but will seek clarification as the arrest warrant for Quiboloy was issued by the same court. Manila eyes yet another diplomatic protest over what it says is Beijing's latest aggression in the West Philippine Sea. Francis Falve tells us more.
This video from the Philippine Coast Guard documented how a Chinese vessel rammed Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources vessel Datu Sanday on Sunday. These newly documented harassment in the Escoda Shoal damaged the communication equipment of the Philippine vessel. PCG spokesperson for the West Philippine Sea, Commodore J. Tariela, said that no one was injured in the incident. The vessel is still seaworthy and docked in Bataan despite the recent bullying at sea. Tariela said that the crew of the ship are in high spirits and morale. They are still willing to carry out humanitarian missions in the West Philippine Sea in the days ahead. Aside from the ramming and water cannon incident last weekend, there was also a report that Chinese forces fired flares at one of our aircraft patrolling in the area.
First, on the part of the Coast Guard and BFAR, we're going to submit this to the National Task Force West Philippine Sea. And considering that the Department of Justice and the Department of Foreign Affairs are part of the National Task Force, it's for them to decide whether a diplomatic protest would warrant such incident.
He also stressed the importance of filing diplomatic protests against the Chinese Coast Guard aggression in our territorial waters.
A diplomatic protest is important. It is necessary for us to tell the world, the international community, that we are going against and protesting itong mga illegal actions ng China. If we're not going to do this, it will just mean one thing, that we are allowing such unlawful and barbaric activities of China to proliferate.
He admits he can no longer recall how many diplomatic protests have already been filed. But this is all a part of a long battle to get our territory.
Kaya sinabi ni Justice Carpio, our problem in the West Philippine Sea is intergenerational. This is something that we can settle sa panahon natin. What is important for us to do is just to hold the line and make sure that the next generation of Filipinos will be able to continue the fight and eventually win our fight for the West Philippine Sea.
The Department of Justice and Department of Foreign Affairs have yet to release their statements regarding the new harassment by Chinese vessels in the West Philippine Sea. Francis Polbe, PNC.
Commodore J. Tariela, Philippine Coast Guard spokesperson on the West Philippine Sea, says that supplies of the personnel aboard BRP Teresa Magbanua along Escoda Shoal is now in critical state. This after the Chinese Coast Guard continues blocking the Philippines' resupply missions as what happened over the weekend. Ayala says the mission of BRP Cabra and BRP Cape Engaño to deliver food and supplies to BRP Teresa Magbanua is a humanitarian mission, not a military one. China's action against the mission, adds Tariela, is pure harassment that is unprofessional, unlawful, and illegal. Taiwan showing off its military might. The island's military holds its annual Tianma exercises, testing new armored vehicles and rocket launchers. The drills come as China beefs up its presence around Taiwan as it seeks to assert its sovereignty claims. China views Taiwan as a breakaway province and has not ruled out the use of force to govern the island. Amateur wrestlers from around the world compete in a saucy match in the British town of Lancashire, all for fun and charity. 16 men and 8 women are duking it out in a pool of gravy in hopes of winning the supreme title at the World Gravy Wrestling Championship. Winners are picked by a panel of 4 judges based on their entertainment value, with costumes also playing a big part in the competition. Wrestler participation and audience entry fees go directly to charities. And those are the news. I'm Raine Musñgi. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned to BNC on Free TV Channel 31 and also on our website, bnc.ph. Bilyonaryo News Channel, always on top.